What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Seahawks Now. Today we have some big news. Jaylen Mo has officially inked that contract with the Seahawks. Yeah, that's right, guys. He is an official Seattle Seahawk. We have quarterback Jaylen Mo on the squad. Plus, I'm going to discuss who I think our wide receiver number 3 is going to be next year, and could a Seattle Seahawk be in the Olympics next year? A lot to discuss as the NFL has allowed NFL players to participate in the Olympics. So we'll talk about that, all that and more right here today on Seahawks Now. But let's get into the big news. Jaylen Mo has officially signed his contract. Third rounder quarterback out of Alabama, all smiles yesterday as he inks the contract. There's a great picture of him online signing that contract. You can find it. He looks super happy. He looks super pumped to be a Seahawk. I'm super pumped about it. I think that, you know what, it's been far too long since we have drafted a quarterback, and now we officially have him. So, yeah, he's our 9th member of the draft class to sign. It ends up with a $6 million contract. That is what it is at. It's 4 years, $6 million. The only unsigned members of the draft class now are the 2 second-round picks, actually, which would be Nick Emmanwori, the safety, and Elijah Arroyo, our tight end. Milrose says, it's definitely a great feeling to be able to have an organization that's behind you. They selected me out of all the individuals that were placed in this draft. I was one of their selections in this year's draft, so I'm tremendously happy that I have the support of the organization, but now it's all about putting our best foot forward for the organization and for the guys in the locker room. He's been in the process of preparing for the 2025 season. He's been taking part in voluntary workouts. He was at rookie minicamp. He says for him, it's all about relationships. He wants to build relationships with everybody in the locker room, the offense, and the defense. What's big when it comes to that offseason period before you get into the season is that relationship phase. Secondly, he says he wants to master the offense. Who's our guys offensively? Who's the receivers? Who's the tight ends going to be? Fullback, running back, quarterback room. Just understanding everyone as a whole, because this is a new phase in his life on a new team. So he says that's big. He says X's and O's are X's and O's, but it's all about the relationship factor right now. Obviously, last year he was with Alabama, 92nd overall pick. He was a team captain for the Crimson Tide last year, 39 touchdowns and 32 rushing touchdowns, so a total of 71 touchdowns over the past 2 seasons. He's going to be the backup. Sam Darnold's the starter. Here's what Milrose says about learning under Darnold and Seahawks offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak. He says one thing that's unique is that we're all learning a new system. So with what we're able to build upon each other and keep on building each and every day. He says he likes and appreciates that they all have a good relationship. He says that's important in every room, that we all have shared success and we're all pulling for each other, and that relationship is big. Yeah, again, good to see. He seems super optimistic, super enthusiastic about his role on the team. He knows he's the backup, but he doesn't seem to care all that much. He seems like, yeah, he's just excited to be there and get to work and start grinding. All right, let's talk about who those relationships are going to be, right? He mentions you got to know who's your skill players, who's your receivers, who's your running backs. I'm curious, who will be the Seahawks' number 3 receiver in 2025? I feel like there's a couple of options here. You know, you could obviously go with Jake Bobo. He's been around for a while, and he's done some good things with the team. Not necessarily the best player. I mean, really, Jake Bobo he's fine. That's about what he is. But he could be your wide receiver 3. Or it could be Marquez Valdes-Scantling, who the Seahawks obviously signed this offseason to a 1-year, $5 million contract. Or could it be one of the rookies? Could it be Torrey Horton? Could he come over and immediately be that wide receiver 3? If you look at Jake Bobo's numbers the past 2 seasons, he has 32 receptions, 42 targets. He's made 3 starts, 303 yards, 3 touchdowns. So, yeah, he's been fine. He also has 1 rushing touchdown in 1 attempt for 3 yards. So, yeah, in total in the past 2 years, he has 4 touchdowns, about 306 total yards from scrimmage. That's not really good enough to be a wide receiver 3, but now if he can take the next step, maybe improve a little bit, get better, that could be, a true wide receiver 3 for the Seahawks. On the other hand, I do think that Marquez Valdes-Scantling is probably the front runner, just in terms of what he's accomplished throughout his career. MVS last year with the Saints had a nice couple of games. He ended up making 8 starts with the Saints. He had 385 yards, 4 touchdowns, and he averaged about 22 yards per reception. And that's kind of been Marquez Valdes-Scantling's calling card throughout his whole career. He's been a guy who's going to go for a ton of yards per reception. 17.4 yards per reception is his career mark. He's the active leader in that stat. And he did lead the league in 2020 with the Packers, 20.9 yards per reception. Throughout MVS's career, 3,500 total yards, 20 total touchdowns. He's played with multiple MVPs. In fact, he's played with 3 MVPs: Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, and he also had a year with Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City. We forget. He played 2 years with Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City and actually had 687 yards back in 2022. Now, he is 31. He's getting a little bit older, but I think MVS is the guy who's going to be that wide receiver 3. Don't count out Torrey Horton, though, that 5th-round draft pick from Colorado State. I think he could play a big role in the offense. I just don't think he's that high yet. I think he has to work his way into being that wide receiver 3. All right, I want to talk about this, guys. Could a Seattle Seahawk be headed to the Olympics in 2028? A question that a lot of people are now asking, as the NFL yesterday, they announced that they're going to let their players play in the Olympics. They are going to let NFL players participate in the flag football events in the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics. However, there's a caveat. Only one guy per team. So what that does is it's going to limit teams from, if you're a great team like the Chiefs, only one guy can go play from the Chiefs, and only one guy can go play from a bad team like the Raiders. So, yeah, it kind of evens the playing field. Now, it closes the door on the possibility of, the Chiefs got 4 guys hurt playing flag football. Only one guy can do it per team. So my question is, which Seattle Seahawk right now has the best chance of being on that Olympic flag football roster 3 years down the road? Remember, this is 3 years down the road. So a guy like Sam Darnold, who might be at his peak right now, probably won't be at his peak 3 years down the road. Say same thing about a guy like Kenneth Walker. Probably won't be peaking in 3 years just based off his age. Cooper Kupp, again, probably won't be peaking in 3 years. Who's it going to be in 3 years? My guess is it'll either come from the defense or it will come from the wide receiving core. Obviously, flag football doesn't really need offensive linemen, or else I might say Gray Zabel. But if you're looking at the defense or the receiving core, first off, receiving-wise, the guy would be JSN. Right? If the Seahawks are going to have an offensive player at the flag football Olympics in 2028, it would almost certainly be Jackson Smith and Jigba. I think that he would fit that bill quite easily. He could go do it. He could be a speedster out there, catching passes from whoever the quarterback is. But if it's on defense, I actually think somebody like Nick Emenwari, your safety, he could be a solid guy out there, or Devon Witherspoon at cornerback. I think he would be a really good player for flag football as well. Because remember, flag football is all about speed. It's much less about tackling and hitting guys hard. It's much more about speed. So that's why I think Devon Witherspoon might actually be the Seahawks' best player in flag football for 2028. With that all being said, guys, we're going to wrap this video up for today. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe down below. Who do you think? If the Seahawks have one current player that makes the flag football roster, who would it be and why? That's it for today, though, guys. Let me know again down in the comments, and let me know what you want to see me talk about. We're kind of in a slow news cycle right now, so give me some recommendations if you want, and I'll try to talk about those coming up. Maybe ask some questions. We can do kind of a mailbag thing. If you guys are interested in that, let me know down in the comments. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and as always, until next time, go Seahawks.